Good morning, everyone. It's Laura here for Free Practice Friday. We missed last week. I was away at a Qigong retreat in Costa Rica, and it was amazing. I'm back refreshed and feeling like a different person. I wanted to show you this feather that I found on a hike. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it belongs to a parakeet. You can kind of see some cool blues and greens in there on it when it hits the light. Anyway, I don't know who it belongs to, but and I don't usually pick things up like this when I am out and about. I like to leave things where I find them, but this was just too incredible to let go. So anyway, I hope you had a nice week off, and today I have some ideas about what we're going to practice. I want to talk a little bit about my one of the things that happened at the retreat this past week. So we had a bunch of different people teaching. We had our teacher, and then we had some of his certified teachers, including me, teaching. And then we had some other people who taught Qigong and Tai Chi, who had offered to give some workshops, and just very, very informal. And so one of them was what she learned as 5 animal play, and it's the way she teaches it to kids, and it was so much fun. I need to see if anybody has any pictures of this. There were some people that were taking pictures and filming some video, but it was a ton of fun, and we laughed really, really hard. It was great. It was really playful and fun and interesting, at least for me, to be an adult but have this complete sense of freedom. It was really fun. So, for example, we were doing the monkey, and we had one hand on top of our head and the other one in the back, like our tail, and we were walking around and we were going, hoo, 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 and we were looking for bananas, and we would look up for the bananas and find the bananas. And we were just all giggling. We were giggling at ourselves. We were giggling at each other. We were, interacting with each other as these different animals, and it was a lot of fun. So it's different. This is the third version of 5 animal play that I've learned. It's more similar to the first version that I learned, and then there's one that my current teacher talks about that's less about prescribed motions that look like animals and more about just kind of letting your body flow in a way that the person who codified 5 animal play noticed. He saw that his patients were acting in certain ways, and he kind of put them into 5 different buckets. Of course, 5 is a very important number in Chinese medicine. We've got 5-element theory, and we've got acupuncture and Qigong that's based solely on 5-element theory. So, of course, he figured out 5 animals that would work for what he was seeing. So I'm going to actually work on today the 5 animal play. It's not exactly 5 animal play. We learned 5 animal play slightly differently, but we did the healing sounds a few weeks ago, and I also learned some animal versions of these healing sounds. So we're going to play around with those. So let's get started, shall we? So if you remember, the first healing sound is the metal healing sound. And when we did this originally, we had our fingers in an L shape, and the sound was like an SSS sound, like a snake. Sometimes we say hiss, and we just pulled our hands down and said hiss. So the animal version of this, which might make sense when you think about it, is a tiger. So the tiger, it's similar. Instead of having your hands in an L shape, I don't know if you can see that, instead of having them in an L shape, we're going to have them in a tiger claw. So if you see it from the side, we're bending at the knuckles. We've got this tiger claw, and we're going to down like we're, I don't know, we're a tiger and we're hissing at another tiger in the jungle. So we start with our hands up and take a deep breath in, and then remember that you take a deep breath and then blow it all out at the end. Tiger claw. So you keep exhaling until there's no air left, and then exhale a little bit more. So what I learned as 5-animal play is actually these animal healing sounds with some motion. It's a little more, it's much more prescribed. It's more of a specific movement rather than just the, sort of random, the body's moving in a way that feels good at the time. So what we're doing is just taking a step forward. It's kind of a bow stance, really. You're just stepping forward, and then you breathe in and then you take another step forward, breathe in, and then so that you can still see my feet, I'm just going to take a step back. And remember, we're breathing out grief, breathing in clean silver or white light, breathe in. And we're purging for all of these animal sounds, all these healing sounds, we're purging the stagnant chi in our body, getting rid of the negative emotion and replacing it with clean, bright chi of whatever color we're working on at the time. So that was the tiger, the lung healing sound, and the next one is the bear. So for the bear, previously, I'm going to turn sideways, we just had our hands in front like we were breaststroking, put them on our kidneys, and then we leaned forward and we said, chew. You might remember that. And so this one is this is the kidney healing sound, and the emotion that we're dealing with is fear. And so we're still going to work the kidneys. So last time we put our hands on our kidneys, we're going to kind of do the same thing, but we're just going to take one hand and put it about where our kidneys are. Of course, don't strain yourself. So if you can't get all the way up to your kidneys, they're higher than most of us think, then just put it where it's comfortable. And the other one's going to come up in a claw similar to the tiger claw, not quite as bent. If you want to be really technical, the way I learned this is it's just the first knuckle of each finger that's bent, kind of like a bear claw. So the animal for this is the bear. And if you can't bend just the first knuckle, that's fine. Just bend your fingers a little bit. It's more about the intention of it, but technically, the way I learned it, it's only the first knuckle of each finger. That adds a lot of tension to my hand, so I typically don't do that. So we have one hand behind our back, the other one is up to the side, and we're just going to twist from the waist, and push the hand back. It's basically the body turning it, but when I get as far as my waist will turn, I might push it a little bit more just to add a little extra stretch there. So we take one hand up, and we breathe in, and the sound is chew. The color is midnight blue or black. Breathe in, chew. And then we're going to switch hands. So the first hand goes on the back, and the other hand comes up. Bear claw, breathe in, chew. We're breathing in bright blue light, or this clear dark blue light, and we're breathing out fear. Breathe in, chew. Knees are soft. Make sure that they are not strained at all as you twist. If they are, relax them a little bit or let up on how much you're twisting. One more. Breathe in. Chew. Good. The next one, so this is interesting actually, because what we learned in Costa Rica, the animals didn't correspond to the elements in the same way. There were different animals, same animals, but some of them corresponded to different elements. And So, of course, everybody has their own versions of these, and I need to talk to the instructor a little bit more and ask her if there's a justification. So, for the next element is wood, and the color is green. I learned this as the deer. So, the deer kind of springs up, right? The element for, or the season for the wood element is spring. And of course, things in the spring are shooting up, right? You've got sprouts coming out of the ground, flowers coming up after a long winter. And so that was how I learned that. She actually taught it as the green monkey. So this was the whoo, whoo, whoo that we were walking around. And so it kind of makes sense what she was saying. You can justify these in a lot of different ways. So it's interesting to learn from her these different animals. But I'm going to do the deer. Oh, I should go back to the bear too. The bear, if the 5 element or 5 animal play version of it is just the same thing, you're just stepping forward as you're doing the movement. So there's no particularly different movement there. You're just walking forward and you're doing the same twist from the waist. So the wood element, like I said, is the deer, and you're going to have your fingers kind of in a hang loose fashion. I can't keep my bent fingers bent if I don't kind of have my thumb in there. So I often will keep my thumb in and do like the rock star thing. But we're basically making deer antlers. And we put them near our head, near where our antlers would be. And the sound for this is shh, like the wind whistling through the trees or blowing through the trees. And because we're doing this, we want to imitate this upward motion. We think about deer jumping, right? So we're going to bend our knees a little bit, hands come down, and then we'll stretch upward. The emotion for this, they're all kind of the same thing in my mind, so I never remember whether it's an emotion or a color or a direction or what it is. So sometimes I have a hard time coming up with the words. The emotion for spring is anger. So this is related to our liver, which in Chinese medicine is where anger lives. And so we're going to be purging our body of any excess anger. So we start hands up, antlers by the sides of the head, knees bent, and then spring up and shh. Breathe in as you come down, and then shh as you go up. If you were to do the original school I learned in called the 5 animal play, you would just take a step forward, shh. So this is kind of like a bow step. Bring the foot in as you breathe in, and then step out into bow stance. So that's the deer jumping up and helping us get rid of our anger. The next animal is the hawk. There's always a bird. I can't remember in Costa Rica if we did. I think we did a crane and not a hawk. But it was definitely a bird, and the element for this is fire. So we're talking about our heart, we're talking about a deep red, we're talking about the summer season, which of course is very fiery and hot. And the sound for this, when we did that, just the regular healing sounds, we put our hand on our heart, the other hand came up and we said, ah. Right, so what a relief, or what a cute baby or a cute puppy, right? It's this kind of this release. There's this almost overwhelming emotion sometimes, right? Sometimes you just see a little kid or a puppy or any sort of picture that's it's so cute, it's almost overwhelming. So that releases that feeling of that kind of excess, that overwhelm, that overexcitement that you might experience. The motion for the hawk is, as you might imagine, the hands come up kind of like you're flying, and then they'll come down in front of you. We can just do this one with the movement because it's more interesting with the movement. So what we'll do is open our arms and open our legs, and then We can go the other way now. So we breathe in, open everything up, and then breathe in, alternating sides. And one more. Breathe in. Good. So the last animal in the animal healing sounds is the earth element. This is the monkey. This is for worry, and it's related to the spleen and pancreas and also to the stomach, right? So a lot of us feel worry in our stomach. And the sound for this is ho, kind of like, you know, oh, you're so worried and oh, my stomach hurts, or I got punched in the stomach, oh, right? Kind of that sort of sound. This is similar to the hawk, right? For the hawk, we stepped out and then in. This one, we're going to start in, and the hands will be up, and we're going to have monkey hands, so they're kind of floppy. And then we're going to step out, and the hands flop down. Oh. We breathe in, stretch the arms up, and then breathe out. Oh. This is feeling like a kind of sad monkey today. It doesn't have to be sad. He can be a happy monkey, but he jumps and then he lands. Oh, thank goodness I made it to the next tree branch. One more, breathe in. Oh, and breathe out, worry. The color for this is kind of golden yellow. I think of it as the color of the sunflower, maybe the color of the sun. So it's kind of an orangey yellow, not a bright buttercup kind of yellow. The last one is the same one that we ended the original healing sounds with. This is the healing sound for chi, for the triple warmer, and pericardium. So this is not related to an animal, but we always close the set with this. It also helps that it is what I use in a lot of my classes. We do 3 closing breaths. Some people call this the Great Tai Chi Circle. And you're just breathing in, and then your hands will float down in front of your body. You see this to open and close sets a lot. So we breathe in, and the sound is he as we breathe out. He. So we're just balancing the chi in the body, balancing the systems of the body. He. And one more. Breathe in. The color for that is an opalescent purple kind of color, maybe like a soap bubble, like a non-color color. I think of it as like an opal, so not a deep purple like the color of a king's cape, but definitely this like lighter iridescent kind of purple. So those are the animal healing sounds, plus the chi healing sound, which we always close with. And I will see you next week. Anybody has any questions, let me know. You can email me, ping me on Facebook, or comment below. Thanks.